Hello everybody, welcome to my page, welcome to my channel. It's your boy Denzemos, and today something came to me very quickly, and I just thought that I would talk about it before actually I forget about it. So first of all, thank you for tuning into my channel, thank you for tuning into my page. For all the guys who have subscribed, for the people who have subscribed, please, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I love you all. And today the subject is going to be why the narcissist cannot hoover you in a sorry state. So why can't the narcissist hoover you when you're in sorry state? So first of all, I'm going to explain two cases in particular. There's a case where a narcissist has discarded you. In one case that you have found out that they're narcissist. So there's been a discard. A discard has happened after you finding out that actually you've been dealing with a narcissist. And then there's a second scenario whereby you've been discarded without actually finding out that you've been dealing with a narcissist. So there are two cases. Now, in the case whereby the narcissist has discarded you, after you finding out that you've been dealing with a narcissist, it is very obvious that there are very, very few chances that you're going to come back to that relationship. It's very, very, very few cases you will see. Almost impossible. I don't know if I've heard of, there may be a few cases here and there, but it is very rare. And the narcissists, they know that their chances of getting back into that relationship are very, very, very slim. So that is in the case whereby you've unmasked them, so you've known them who they are. So the second case now is the case whereby you have not yet found out that you've been dealing with a narcissist. So you haven't yet gotten the closure that you've been dealing with a narc. So you've been discarded without actually unmasking them or without finding out these emotional vampires for who they are, who they really are. So in that case, it's very, very difficult, very, very complicated. So where the complication comes now is, remember that the narcissist has abused you to the extent of you actually, the best word I can use, the narcissist has abused you to that extent that they have put you at a very, very, very low level. I can say, for example, they have almost made you look like a zombie. They have put you in sorry state. They have put you in zombie mode, zombie state. For the most of people who have been discarded, you can agree with me. You will still guarantee. You may still agree with me that by the time you've left the narcissist, you are in a really, really sorry state. You know what I mean? Your health is very, very bad. Your health is very, very low, very poor. Your finances are very poor. So health-wise, finances, and even you as an individual, a person as an individual, you're looking really, really terrible. You're in very sorry state. Because like I've always said, the narcissistic abuse is very, very deeply intensive. So usually when the person is abusing you, they kill you from the outside and the inside. They kill you from the inside and outside. So it's like by the time they discard you, you're in very sorry state. And now these narcissists, because they have always that tendency of keeping tags on their victims. When you go out there and they try to keep tags on you to monitor your moves and whatever you're doing. You know what I mean? Now, these people are very selfish actually, because in the first case you see, they're keeping tags on you for two particular reasons. The first reason they're keeping a tag on you is they want to see if you're actually dead. You know what I mean? It's like they have left just a little bit of life in you, and then dropped you off somewhere in the bin, and then they are coming around looking to see if you're actually dead. They just want to. For them, it's like coming to confirm if they have succeeded to kill you Like if they have succeeded to take your life past, because they know they have destroyed you to the extent. I can assure you that by the time the narcissist discards you, they have already put you in that state whereby you are undateable. It is almost impossible for anybody to date you because you are in a very sorry state. You know what I mean? So that's what happens in this situation. So they keep on tagging you. They keep on looking around to see if you're actually dead, because they know that you most likely not survive for the rest couple of next few months. I don't know, weeks or months or something. Because in that moment, by the time they discard you, they know that they do not have any more value for you, any use. You are of no more use to the narcissist, and that is why they discard you. So that means that at that point you are in a very, very sorry state. And as much as you're still looking for closure, as much as you're still struggling with yourself, fighting within your mind, trying to put all the events together, trying to figure out what went down, what has happened, you're trying to put all the puzzles, put all the pieces together. And you just can't point a finger to where was the problem, what went wrong. You're still figuring out, because it's most likely you've never seen a discard. You know what I mean? For most of the time when I'm talking about a discard, I think some of the people, you can only relate with me if you have been in a narcissistic relationship. That is the only way you can understand what is a discard. You know what I mean? But if you have not been a narcissist, you can never know, and you can never actually understand and relate with me when I'm talking about a discard. So the narcissist has discarded you, and they already know that at a certain point in time, they have already left you for the dead. So they know that in a few months or at some point in time, you're going to be completely out of use. You know what I mean? So as much as you're struggling with yourself within your mind, and you're trying to put things together, you're thinking, what should we have done better? You know, how could you have done things better? And before that, even as you're struggling, even as you're still struggling, looking for answers, the narcissist is already with somebody new. You know what I mean? So they're already with somebody new, the new supply, and then at the same time, they're also tagging you to see what's going on with you. How are you doing? You know, how are you carrying on? And most of the time, actually, it's even very confusing, because they will come around and pretend. They will still show up and pretend and try to make it look like they're actually concerned about your welfare. You know what I mean? So they'll be asking you things like, how do you feel? You know, how are you feeling? What are you doing? You know, what's going on? You know, all of it. They'll be checking you every now and then. They'll be checking you. You know what I mean? They know that you're in sorry state, and actually, that is what brings them more. That's what makes it even more confusing, because the more they tag you, the more they keep on checking it up on you. It makes you as a victim, as a person who's just been discarded. It makes you actually more confused, because you have because first of all, remember, you haven't yet gotten the closure you need, right? You haven't yet gotten the closure, and then these are the people who have discarded you, and now they are coming around tagging you at the same time. You know what I mean? And then some of the time, that's where most of the people actually get it all twisted and think that, well, so maybe, you know, they are still tagging you because, okay, so probably they're interested in you. And most of the people, that's what actually stops people from moving on. It is very, very difficult when a narcissist discards you and they keep on tagging you every now and then. And then for you thinking that in that moment you can get a proper closure, or even a proper healing for that matter, it is almost impossible. So for the most of the time, the people have been discarded in that period, they're still seeing those narcissistic partners of theirs around. Every now and then they're appearing somehow they're just showing up all of a sudden. Sometimes they're showing up at their workplace. Sometimes they're showing up at their homes. You know what I mean? Sometimes even randomly on the streets or in the coffee shops or something like that. So it makes it very difficult. And most of the people get confused because they're actually thinking that, yes, the narcissist is going to take them back inside. You know what I mean? Into the relationship. It doesn't matter whether they have moved in with a new partner or not. So some people will be confused and think that, okay, so yeah, because they're still checking on me, so probably they still feel something for me. Guys, a narcissist does not feel nothing. A narcissist is an empty shell. They are empty shells full of nothing. They are full of air, and I can also guarantee you that as much as they are trying to check on you, do not get it twisted. They are not going to date you. So it is all a game they do, because you can be somewhere there wondering why they still keep checking on me, calling me, sending me messages and this and that, and yet at the same time they're the same people who have discarded you. The only reason why they have discarded you is not because they are trying to take you back into the relationship. The only reason why they are actually tagging you and keep on checking on you, they are creating that scenario whereby it should be actually very hard for you to move on. It should be very hard for you to heal. It should be very hard for you to move on. And it should be very hard for you as well to get closure, because the only reason, one of the very number one reason they are tagging you after a discard is because they want to find out how much do you know. It's not about they want to date you again or they want to bring you back into the relationship, because of course, definitely, because you want to get back into the relationship because you haven't yet found out who they are, first of all, and that you also haven't yet gotten the closure. You know what I mean? So you have that mix, you have that mix of emotions, thinking that yes, okay, probably they want you back into the relationship, but normally it doesn't work like that. The narcissist, they're tagging you specifically to find out, what do you have in your mind? What are you thinking? What is your next move? So for them, it's about securing that source of supply that they have got, the new source of supply that they have got now in the relationship. And now for you, they have already been with you for very many periods of time. They are just keeping around, tagging you, just to keep you in that limbo, in that state whereby you're thinking, okay, so yeah, the ex, they're still coming around here. They're still showing around because they probably want me back, They want to get back into a relationship or whatever it is. They're just trying to confuse you actually even more, because somebody has already moved on with somebody else. And then they're also still tagging you on top of their partners that they've left even at home. So it's a very confusing situation. I just want to make it clear in this video. The narcissist is not going to date you, number one, because you are in a very sorry state. The only reason they are tagging you, they are trying to get as much information as they can. They want to know where you're at. How much information do you have? How much updated are you on their situation? How much do you know? So they want to see the signs before they happen. They want to make sure that they are one step ahead of you. And that's why they keep you in the range. In that range whereby they can still check on you and figure out what to do next and what move to make next. Because they are also very insecure about the new source of supply that they have got. They're still worried that's why you see most of the time when the narcissist discards you, they keep you in a short range. For the most of people who have left narcissists, they don't get very far away from these people. They keep some sort of a distance somewhere, because they know that they will just drive a few a few miles and they'll be with you in no time. You know what I mean? So they keep in a range that they can reach you very, very whenever it's needed, whenever it's necessary for them. They can reach you at any time they want. You know what I mean? So they are not tagging you to date you. They are tagging you to get informed of your next moves. First of all, to get informed, how much do you know? To get informed of your welfare. What is your next move? What is happening exactly in your life? They just want to know, what are you doing with yourself? They don't want to get you back into the relationship. At that moment, the Hoover will come, of course, it will come. The Hoover will come, and eventually all narcissists they're always known to Hoover to Hoover back their subjects at a certain period in time. The Hoover will come. But at that initial part, those beginning moments when the narcissists keep on tagging you, it has nothing to do with what they feel for you. It has everything to do with how much do you know, how much updated are you on their situation, and what is your next move. Because they want to know also, are they secure in this new relationship? Are you going to cause them any trouble? Do you know anything about them? And especially these people who haven't yet unmasked them, they haven't yet found out that these people, they are narcissists. And even the ones who have found out, the narcissist still wants to know what level are they at. You know what I mean? They want to know what level are you at, so that they will put up the right amount they will put up the right front, the right barrier, in case anything is going wrong. You know what I mean? So a narcissist will never date you when you're in sorry state. You know what I mean? So if you have been having those questions probably you are that individual who thinks that, yeah, so you've been discarded, and then you want to, you're still seeing your ex knock around, you know, here and there, every now and then. You're still seeing them in your vicinity. It has nothing to do with going back into a relationship with you. It has everything to do with what do you know, how much do you know. They want to prepare themselves just in case anything happens, because by that time they have got a new supply, so they can never compare you to the new supply in that moment. The new supply is now more valuable than you now, because now you it's like your dates have expired, you know. They treat you as something that has expired, so they don't have any more use for you, especially in those early days of the discard. There's no any use for you at that moment, because they have discarded you now. They have got a new supply who is offering them fresh energy and fresh fuel and whatever. So for you, you should never be confused. In fact, I've always encouraged my followers. I've always encouraged my followers to try very, very hard as much as they can. I know it may be hard most of the time. It's hard for some people to go no contact, but the best way to get rid of a knack in your life is by going no contact. There's no other way around it. And you will also realize that when you go no contact, you have set up a mechanism to protect yourself from the knack always sniffing around in your business and taking tabs on you, and, you know, trying to find out what you're doing and taking, you know, picking up on their next moves. What are they going to do? They want to check you and see what are they going to do and what are the moves they're going to take, just for them to protect themselves and their new partners. But it has nothing to do with you, because a narcissist, when they have discarded you, you have got to be very sure that they're not going to date you anytime soon. They will pretend they want to date you, and they will come around and, you know, try to say one or two or three things, trying to pretend how sorry they are, blah blah blah. You know, probably had to leave you, had to let you go, but, you know, it was the only way, blah blah. So they will try to make all sorts of excuses. But the only thing they are doing behind the curtains is just tagging you and checking you up. How much do you know about them? What is your next move, and what are you going to do? So that's more of grabbing information, gathering information, so that they know how to protect themselves. Because the narcissists always, like I've always said, they want to have like they want to keep like 10 steps ahead of you. You know what I mean? They want to keep 10 steps ahead of you. They want to make sure that you don't catch them by surprise. So they're always some steps ahead of you, and they know what they need to do at the right time when the time comes. So people, when the narcissist tags you all the time, you've been discarded and probably you didn't find out they were knacks, you just have to be confident that it has nothing to do with you. It has something to do with them, and they're just tagging you. They are not going to date you. For definitely, they're not going to date you because you're in sorry state. They have already broken you down so hard that they have made you actually undateable in that moment. You are undateable. You are not, there is nobody of any category will date you when you've just left a narcissist. That relationship, I can guarantee you for 110%, it will not work out. It cannot work out because a narcissist, by the time they discard you, they have already completely finalized what they call torture. They have tortured you to that extent and abused you to that extent, whereby actually you've become undateable. And that's the only reason that makes them actually discard you, because now you've become undateable. It is until you get out there, go no contact, heal, recover, take the proper steps necessary for you to get your life back together. That is when now the narcissist will prepare him or herself for a Hoover, because they know now, okay, so you've rejuvenated yourself. They have just given you a break to rejuvenate yourself. So when they feel that, okay, so you've rejuvenated yourself enough, that's when they will be ready to Hoover you, to do some sort of a Hoover to bring you back into the relationship. You know what I mean? So it has nothing to do with the beginning. They cannot date you because you're in sorry state. It can't get any longer than that, guys. It's been a lovely day to speak with you, and I hope to catch you in my next video. I hope it makes one or two. Please let me know what you feel in the comments. Let me know how. Let's interact together. If you've had something, you have something to say, please let me know in the comment box below, and let's share together. Other than that, I hope to catch you in my next video, and stay well and stay blessed. There's more signing out.